Are you fucking kidding me? Again with this shit. This is the third time. Hi guys, welcome to turn 31. It happened again. This is the third time I've been attacked by knights in this fucking game. Oh god, I'm so mad. Anyway, yeah, Lanka was attacked by knights. Once again, many knights. 18, 19 knights. I'm very angry. I've got Pollux here, the Stalker. I gave him this Dusk Dagger I bought from Saromasha, so he has an armor-negating attack with attack 22 because he has a Ring of the Warrior. He also has a handful of acorns, so he'll spawn 3 Vine Men. So he should be able to kill a Knight Commander very, very reliably. If I had some armor, I would also slap some armor on him because he's valuable, but fuck it, he's just doing that. We're breaking siege. We're breaking siege with what monkeys we have, plus a whole bunch of ethereal undead, and a few Azrapas. Should be able to beat the knights fairly comprehensively. More blood slaves rolling on in. Blood hunting there. We are reanimating warriors. Damn right, Real and Go Hard are all up here summoning Azrapas in Rasenna. I don't have enough money for a temple. Sad face. Gurdia is searching for blood slave for magic sites. Sorry there. What else? Battle in Lake Seaweed. We took it back. We lost our mercenaries, which is fine, and a whole bunch of undead, which we don't care about. Wiped out the enemy. 1 unit retreated. I don't know what unit that was. Oh, our 1 surviving Triton Guard retreated. So we've retaken this province. We pumped 16 province defense into it. We're going to push the province defense here up to 16 as well, which coincidentally cleans us entirely out of gold. Pow Pow, the Triton Trooper, who is the mercenary commander, is just going to stay here along with Zagmi. And we're also going to leave 1, count them 1, Soulless to prevent some random events, albeit not that one. Oh, so frustrating. Zelion is site searching. Non-Bagor is also going to move down to site search. My research is still shit. 195 on turn 31. Super bad. Super bad. We're searching for magic sites here because I realized I never searched for nature in Winna. So we're going to do that. I also need to move somebody to search for nature sites down around here. But I'm not going to bother doing it just yet because I got to have that research. I just got to have that research, yo. What I am going to do, however, I'm going to start casting crossbreeding, I think, or possibly Feast of Flesh. No, that's 15 for 50. This is 20 plus for 15. So yeah, we're going to start casting crossbreeding just to have chaff. I need chaff, and I don't have enough. The nonstop Pop is standing here defending, which is pointless. He needs to be moving up to join the troops in Rasenna. And in terms of research, we'll hit Construction 4 in 2 turns, at which point the Blood economy will kick into high gear, and then Blood level 4, which will get us Bloodlust and Rakshasa Warriors, both of which are pretty decent spells. After that, it'll also get us Blood Fecundity, which we don't really care about, but could potentially be useful sometimes. And Storm Demons. My Raksharajas can all summon Storm Demons, and Storm Demons are great, so I probably will. That being what it is, we're recruiting there. We're not recruiting anything here because fuck me, I guess. I would love to have more temples. I really want more temples. I only have 2. I desperately need more. Very unfortunate, really. Very, very unfortunate. Yeah, this is kind of a sucky thing, but yeah, we're building up troops here. We should be able to go in against Satis in a couple of turns. I'll double check with Mechlin to make sure that we're good to do that, and potentially Shinuyama as well. And should be fine. So that's all that's happening this turn. We're just getting kicked while we're down by random events again, as usual. What else is new? It'll be fine. DMX will overpower these obstacles. Nothing can keep us down. Ain't nothing gonna break our stride. Ain't nothing gonna hold me down. I've got to keep on moving. I told you to fucking assassinate. And so that'll be the plan. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 32. I know this one is short, but not much is happening, and also it's frustrating as well as not much happening. It's quite frustrating. Shinuyama noticed that I have a stalker and freaked out, which is cool. And we're should be fine. Nonstop Pop is moving around. Stainless Steel is moving around. We'll try to migrate Stainless Steel up here to join these guys as well. He'll site search his way straight up. And we'll join them shortly after the battle starts. Or the war, rather. I'm still desperately short of combat magic, which I have to fix. But it's gonna take some time. It's just gonna take some time. Enchantment level 5 would be probably a good thing to have for Horde of Skeletons and Pale Riders. Beyond that, I'm a little short on good combat magic that I can achieve quickly. I could potentially get some Thunder Strikes going with my Raksharajas, or more likely, get up to Conjurations that I can summon air elementals. Conjuration level 5 would be useful, but it's a long way off. And of course, Alteration's always good. Mistform, Wind Guide. Wind Guide's a strong one that I need. Phantasmal Army, Invulnerability, Drain Life, Soul Vortex, Darkness. All that stuff. False Horror, funnily enough, is an air spell. All it does is cause fear, basically. And Fog Warriors, of course. Fog Warriors is a fantastic one that I can Communion up to cast, or Sabbath up, rather, to cast very easily, as well as Mass Protection. So, Mass Protection's hard on lockup because it exacerbates your fire weakness, but, you know, whatever. I'll see y'all in turn 32. Okay, turn 32. We assassinated the Knight Commander because our Stalkers are actually really good at that. Or, well, our Stalker, rather. This Stalker has, of course, all that gear that I gave him. He has the Dusk Dagger, so his attack is armor negating. He has the Ring of the Warrior, so his attack skill is ridiculous. And he has a handful of acorns to provide distraction. So, when I went up against this Knight Commander, the Knight Commander hit the Vine Men, who of course are pierce resistant, so he didn't actually kill any of them, and then we came over there and just stabbed him to fucking death. Perfect. We then fought the Knights with basically just a huge pile of chaff and a few Sacreds. Unfortunately, our Asurapas actually took the lances here, a couple of them, and so they took a couple of hits right off the bat and routed instantly. The squadron just routed, despite having 15 morale, so that sucked. So, the Asurapas ran, one of them berserked and got some damage in, but then died. And the Knights just got beaten down by my Ethereal Ganas. Ethereal troops are good at this, just absorbing high damage hits, and then slowly punching the opponent to death, so it worked out fine. We took casualties, but we defeated the Knights, so great. We got extra attacks in Zox, extra defense in Bergamum, and then Misfortune in Mercena, but we don't really care about that. We did also find a magic site in Wick Forest, a Druid's Grave, so that's another nature gem. That's fantastic as well. Now, people are also moving around. We were doing some site searching here. We're moving. Stainless Steel is site searching here. Uzid Yazran has that site that is hitting the undead and demons with Holy Fire, which he should actually be able to find since he's a priest. And it shouldn't kill him even if it does hit him. He has a pretty good magic resistance. And then also he has 36 hit points, so it won't kill him. It might kill this Asrapa potentially, although 19 hit points, still unlikely to kill, but possible. In any case, we are putting some, I almost forgot to put some province defense in Lanka. Let's do that. Troops are moving around. Up here, we're gathering our army, and I think Satis probably sees us coming. Satis is massing up forces. But we're getting ready to go in there. And we're also getting ready to come and take Quedra, which we should be able to do with mainly Ganas. We've got 28 Ganas here, plus some Sacreds. We're moving up there. We've got some more Demon Ladies, plus we are summoning more Ganas. And with our 31 gold, we will recruit, like, a few heavy infantry. Sure, why not? So we'll mass up some troops here, including a bunch of Ganas, which are ethereal with magic weapons, and go take this place out. The only thing that's dangerous here is the vampires, and our Sacreds and Ganas should be able to kill them, albeit with casualties. I will definitely take casualties taking them out. I would like to have more units than I have right now. But we've got 15, 32 there, plus we'll have another 20 Ganas, and some Asurapas. Yeah. I think we can probably do it. What we may also do is, we're summoning more Ganas up here. We may take Dam right down there with his army to attack that place as well, because he can hop down there and then hit Quedra. We should be able to take the throne pretty easily. We have a big chunk of heavy footmen right here. I'm not sure where they're going. They may have been originally thinking of attacking Agenor, but that's not nearly enough to take Agenor. They shouldn't be planning to attack me, although it's possible. I think it would be unwise of Tianchi to attack me right now, because I have troops right nearby, so he could attack Bergamum. but then he'd get counterattacked, and I think that army would lose. He's not deploying a whole lot of combat magic either, at least not so far, and his heavy footmen are not, I mean, they're not terrible troops, but in terms of comparing them to Bandar warriors, I don't think they're particularly a lot better than Bandar warriors, and they're certainly less good than my sacreds. Order is starting to diminish, so my sacreds will be at less of a penalty, and of course I am building a temple over here with Lemric, so I'll have a temple there that will be spreading my dominion and pushing those turmoil scales out, which I desperately, desperately need. That's another reason why I want to take a throne, actually, because it'll be more spread checks for my my dominion. If that is the Throne of Death, that would be really, really nice. Throne of Pestilence, a lot less nice, but we'll see. In either case, getting the extra death gems will, I think, be worth the hit to growth, probably. Especially if I can also get a hold of Agenor, which, like I said, I strongly suspect is the Throne of the Sun, which gives me growth. It gives me Order too, which would fucking suck, but I could live with it in exchange for the growth. Like, my scales are definitely going to be shifting around as I take more and more thrones. Assuming I get to the point where I'm taking more and more thrones, obviously. Mages of Autumn moving around. Both of them are moving down here to site search. I just want to site search up Earth 2 everywhere as quick as I can. And, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I just realized I actually have no gold. I want to be recruiting... Yeah, cancel you. Because I want to be recruiting mages, baby. I don't have enough gold for a Raksha Raja, but I do have enough gold for a Kalamuka. So we'll recruit another Kalamuka. And Pollux is also sneaking up here. Yeah, he'll sneak over there and see if he could maybe assassinate somebody. Like, he might be able to kill the Vampire Lord. Over here in Quedra, I don't think there are all that many commanders, but there is a Vampire Lord, and if I could assassinate him, that would be a significant boost. There are Barbarians over here. Interesting. So Barbarians just took this province away from Utgard. I don't see any troops nearby, but I'm sneaking a scout over that way. I don't know. Saramatia is under siege by Pangaea. Now, a turn or two ago, there was actually a very significant battle here, which Saramatia won. And Saramatia wiped out a very, very large army of Pangaea, comprised, admittedly, mainly of Maenads, but still. A big army, a big victory. They're still doomed. It's just going to take a little bit longer to kill them. And I have blood economy going well. Lots and lots of blood slaves flowing into the capital. I definitely need to be ramping it up even more. But, of course, that will happen very, very shortly. So, overall, not nearly as bad as it could have been. I think we're stabilizing a little bit better. We just need to get our research better now, because 200 research points at turn 32 is garbage. Really, absolutely garbage. That has to get better, and it has to get better fast. That's why I'm churning out all these Yogini, because I gotta have the research, man. I just gotta have it. In fact, yeah, recruit a Yogini there as well. I must have research. If I don't have research, I'm fucking doomed. In fact, they're summoning Asrapas right now. Yeah, I need at least a couple turns of Asrapa summons to make my army better, but after that, I'm actually going to swap these guys over to turn as many of my air gems as possible into quills, I think. Just because I need the research, and quills will help boost my research faster than just recruiting mages will, so that'll be the plan there. And we'll see how it goes. DMX, once again, just researching for the nonce. He site searches in water and astral. I'm actually going to have him... I don't want to have him site search right now. I want to have him research. Okay, that's the plan. That'll be the turn. I'll see y'all in turn 33. Okay, turn 33. We are gathering our armies to go and attack Quedra. We've got a bunch of troops moving out of here, including a number of Asrapas, plus a whole bunch of Ganas for the magic weapons. Up here, we've got an even larger army moving out. We've got the Non-Stop Pop-Pop, who is scripted to retreat, which is not correct. The Non-Stop Pop-Pop and Damn Right are moving out. They will, of course, be joined by Stainless Steel, so we'll have the Non-Stop Pop-Pop and Stainless Steel, plus Damn Right. And this guy, who I'm not bothering to rename because he's not special, and Vano are gathering their armies up here. Lots of blood hunting, lots of soulless reanimation. This guy is gathering the combat soulless, for lack of a better word, the ones that have some kind of combat ability. It's not great, but it's better than these ones. Up here, we are leaving the naked soulless to patrol, including naked soulless Bandar, as well as the soulless Vanara warriors, because soulless Vanara are pretty shit, what with the Prot one. But the armored human soulless warriors we're taking with us, the armored long dead Bandar, and then a few soulless Bandar warriors with clubs, just because even though their attack is very low, they do hit quite hard. And of course, they do have 27 hit points, so they serve as pretty decent chaff. So all those guys are going to be coming with us to serve as chaff, along with various infantry up here. Still recruiting, we've shifted to recruiting Raktapatas up in Rasenna, because we want to start blood hunting a couple of these provinces, especially because we just hit construction level 4, which means that pretty much all of our blood mages are taking a break from research to forge sanguine dowsing rods. And we are going to cycle those sanguine dowsing rods in and kick our blood hunting into high fucking gear. We have 34 unrest over here, which is the badness. So we'll just set you to patrol, shall we? We also have a lot of corpses. Like a lot of corpses. So what we're going to do here is we're going to need fewer blood hunters per province to avoid just burning the provinces to the ground too quickly. So you guys are actually going to shift over to reanimating soulless real quick. We're probably going to cut ourselves down to like 3 or 4. I guess you can actually blood hunt. Let's call it 4. Yeah, 3 or 4. So you guys and you two can reanimate soulless. We're going to have larger patrol groups. Because otherwise the unrest is going to ramp way up too high. You can blood hunt effectively with some unrest, but you want it to be pretty low. Unrest does give you a failure chance. It's not a huge failure chance, but it is a chance. We are still recruiting Atavi archers up here, just because. Anganemi is hiding with those Atavi archers, so he's just going to hide here and gradually gather some up until he has a full stack. I don't know what this force is still doing here. I'm keeping an eye on them. I don't want them. Tianchi has some long dead for some reason. That's weird. I don't know if he, cast reanimation, but I don't think Tianchi gets any cool national long dead. Utgard is coming over here to retake Erysia, which is fair. Very fair. And we are gathering our troops. So this throne, since it's vampires, and the vampires' one cool trick of having 25 prot is pretty easily overcome by magical weapons and monkeys, we should be able to take this throne pretty quickly, and we'll see what it is. It might give us a whole bunch more delicious death gem income, which would be fantastic, because our gem income in general is still bad. We did find 3 magic sites in Uzid Yazran. We found the Garden of Bones for death gem, the Pool of Sanctity for water, which I don't nationally have, and plus a 5% chance to kill demon and undead, and the Ancient Temple for an Astral Pearl, which I also actually don't nationally have. So I now have a water gem income of 2, which is pretty hilarious. Still only 3 air, 4 nature, 7 death. So my death gem income, not awful. However, for turn 33, this is still just fucking atrocious. Like 6, 13, 17, 18 gems per turn. No, bad. We are the suck. That's just what we are. It's sad, but true. So, forging tons of sanguine dowsing rods. Fegamur is just going to chill out here for a little while. And actually, let's have him move up there. And Ara, let's have Ara move as well, because Ara is one of our summoners. So let's concentrate our summoning power a little bit. DMX is providing about half of our current research since everybody's busy. And so next turn, we will launch the attack on Quedra. Should be able to take it pretty easily. Hopefully, we'll take some casualties, but it shouldn't be that bad. And then we can claim it with DMX. We do have a prophet. It's Gay3 over here, but Gay3 is just going to chill out over on this side researching for the nonce. I don't need him to do anything. So, we also have 1 mage still casting crossbreeding, so we have a pretty good pile of garbage here. Crossbreeding gives you garbage. They're all pretty much garbage. Some of them have webs, which are useful. Some of them have life drain attacks, but they have no prot. So, and a lot of them are undisciplined, plus have low magic resistance. The thing that Foul Spawn have is really high morale. And that's very nice, especially if you give them to a decent commander. Essentially, they're low-quality chaff that don't rout often. They're kind of one step up from the undead. And you get a whole lot of them when you cast the spell. So I think it's worth it, especially because Blood Slaves are cheap. So that's the plan. And in the next few turns, probably before turn 40, we will see about going in against New Sitis. And possibly even in the next couple of turns, like turn 36. Like I could get this army there, double out, and go in against Sitis with it. On turn 36, because 34, 35, 36, I guess it would be turn 37. And I think that will in fact be the plan. So, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 34. Alright, turn 34. Overall, pretty good turn. In terms of what happened, we bounced another scout off Quedra, got killed by the vampires again, but just confirmed only one vampire lord, no other mages, 3 commanders. Shouldn't be a problem. There was a battle in Sauromatia, which we got to see. This is apparently Pangea's second attack on Sauromatia, and much like the first, it ended, well, it looks like it ended really badly for Pangea, but I'll show you what I mean. So we've got these mages casting poison resistance and such on themselves, and then casting out foul vapors, which does a whole bunch of poison damage to everything on the field. Pangea's Maenads are up front here going berserk and dying because they suck. Maenads are free spawn. They're not very good units. Getting wiped out by Vinemen and Sauromatian Cavalry, which is fantastic. Look at this lady. Sauromatian Cataphract. Weakened, never healing wound, and lost an arm. Look at these fucking stats. Has the swamp penalty, even. But Sauromatian Cataphracts are pretty crazy. And still has Prot 18 versus non-magical attacks because the magic horse tattoos are activated, which gives a defense bonus, and gives a speed bonus, combat speed, and gives a invulnerability, 10. So effectively, this says Prot 11 because armor is damaged. It's actually Prot 18 against people who don't have magical weapons. Sauromatian Cavalry is fantastic. So the Sauromatians hold off a second assault on their capital with heavy casualties among the enemy infantry, but worth noting, very light casualties among the mages, because Pans have high hit points and poison resistance, and the other mages are very fast. So they successfully wipe out most of Pangea's units, but they only kill 2 mages and none of the important ones. Meanwhile, they lost almost all of their remaining Sauromatian Cataphracts, some of the significant fraction of their Vinemen, one of their Wights, a Warrior Sorceress, and a Spirit Guide. They still have the six Inaris who were spamming skeletons during that battle, which is a critical part of their strategy. But overall, I would actually call this much more even than it looks. Maenads are free spawn, Pangea gets them for doing nothing. Centaur Warriors are super cheap for what they do, as are Centauride Cataphracts. Crossbowmen, I mean, the biggest loss here was the 2 Centauride Hierophantides, and they're not very expensive. So overall, I don't think this was much of a win for Sauromatia, except of course in that it keeps them in the game for another turn. In Bergamoon, we got some Sloth. In Lanka, we got Dominion -3, which, whatever. And we killed a Shinoyaman scout. They keep trying to go through... It's not like I'm patrolling heavily, I'm just heavily patrolling my my bloodhunting provinces. But they keep going through my bloodhunting provinces, so, you know, okay, that's fine. You can do that. And my troops in Druidland are starting to starve, which happens. So, site searching for Earth sites. We've got armies assembling and moving. We are converging our armies on Quedra. Now, unfortunately, I self-owned this turn. I forgot that I needed my research to hit Blood Magic level 4 to have Bloodlust active, and I turned all my researchers into making Sanguine Dowsing Rods, which is great. I love Sanguine Dowsing Rods. They're going to be super helpful, but it means that I didn't get my research done. So, oops. My bad. It should be okay. I should still be able to win this battle. I've got a lot of troops converging. Damrite is just spamming Gift of Flight. Stainless Steel is dropping Divine Blessing after Sabbathing with 2 Sabbath Slaves, which will push his Holy up to 3 and enable him to cast Divine Blessing and hit the whole battlefield. I have about 50 total Sacreds here, counting the Asarapas and the Palankashas, some of whom unfortunately are starving because they are gluttonous, which does push down their morale, but their morale is fucking absurd, so their morale is actually still pretty decent. Yeah, actually a lot of my units are starving. Wow. Incredible. Like most of them. In this army, because there's actually very low supplies in this province, because it has Sloth and Cold 3 and a tiny population. So using up 300 supplies here in this province with no nature mages is no bueno. Meanwhile, over here, I'm using less than 100 supplies, because this army is a lot smaller, and a lot of it is the undead. So the plan here is, obviously the vampires are going to fly to the back to attack me. I have sacrificial light bandar archers in the back. I've got my 2 blocks of sacreds set to hold and attack flyers, about 100 mixed sacreds and ghosts who have magical weapons, which will of course counter vampires very efficiently. Up front, I have my foul spawn chaff and my undead chaff ready to go in and do some work. And I've also got a few more bandar warriors. Once we kill the vampires, there's really nothing else to stop us here. We should roll through it. My biggest concern, actually, is that Utgard might try to move in themselves. This army is commanded by Angerboda, who is one of their national heroes and a very powerful mage, and I don't know what all else they really have. If it's just 100 troops and Angerboda, I should win. I should beat them. But they may have a few other Gigas spamming skeletons or some kind of other tricks up their sleeve. I don't know. I'm just kind of have to take the gamble. And, of course, there's also the question of who will hit first. Like, if they hit the throne and take the casualties of wiping out the independents, and then I roll in behind them, that's a very different scenario from me hitting here, taking the casualties, wiping out the independents, and then them rolling in on me after I've expended my blood slaves and taken losses. So, you know, it's a different kind of thing. What I am going to do is just because I'm going to put 17 blood slaves on stainless steel. Now, this works because, despite the fact that stainless steels, actually I can distribute one of these to each Sabbath slave just because, but you don't need to. Blood mages can use any blood slave that is near them, and near is interpreted fairly loosely. It's like 10 squares or something like that. Blood mages can reach a long fucking way with their sacrificial knives. So, if you have one mage who just has a shit ton of blood slaves parked in the middle of a whole bunch of blood mages, they can all use those blood slaves. Over here we've got... I do have my archers actually surrounding my mage pile in the middle, and my mages are all just kind of piled up, because I want them to not get hit by surprise vampires, and so I would love them to, you know, live. I could send Pollux the Stalker to try and assassinate one of the neutral commanders here, but there's really only 2 possible outcomes of that. Either he assassinates a random indie commander, which doesn't matter, or he tries to assassinate a vampire lord. And vampire lords are very, very hard to beat in assassinations because they are Death 3 mages. So if we look at this vampire lord real quick. Crawler the vampire lord, he's a Death 3 mage, he has 15 hit points and he regenerates. Against a guy with a dusk dagger, that wouldn't be a big deal. But, like I said, he's Death 3, and Death 3 mages love casting Horde of Skeletons in assassinations. Horde of Skeletons wins assassinations, period. There isn't an assassination strategy that is super efficient at killing Death 2 plus mages, except for having an assassin specifically geared to be so fast that he actually rushes into melee and hits the mage before they cast. That can work, but my Stalker is not geared that way. My Stalker is geared to use Vine Men as distractions, walk up to a mage, and shank them with armor-negating damage. It doesn't work on death mages that way because they just spam out skeletons, and the skeletons physically block the way of your assassin, and then your assassin ends up surrounded by skeletons and just dies because he can't get through to shank the mage. Also, the way you tend to win assassinations is by routing. Vampires are immortal, and as far as I know, immortals don't rout. They strongly tend not to rout, even though they have a morale score. I think it's because... I don't know. I feel like there's some kind of oddity with how immortals count damage, because they'll just come back. So, but the gist of it is, vampire lords and wraith lords tend not to rout, like, ever. Unless they've actually taken enough HP damage that they've gone past their 70% threshold and they're forced to HP rout by army mechanics. It's interesting, but so it's not reliable that you can rout them in assassinations, which would auto-kill them. I have 60 gold left, but I'm not going to spend it right now because I am poor, and I remain poor. Unfortunately, someone else's shit dominion is pushing me pretty hard, and they've pushed... Get Out has pushed my dominion entirely out of Lake Seaweed, which is super unfortunate, and I hate it. because Get Out has a gross dominion, and he's lowering my income. I do have a significant amount of dominion in Yellow Mountains, which is okay. I mean, to be fair, my dominion isn't great for income either, so I have Turmoil. I do have Productivity 3, though, and he has Sloth. So his lack of productivity scales is pushing my income down in these provinces, and I'm mad about it, because I took these provinces because they had, like, fucking 100 income. Get Out, you suck. Get out. I could actually cross the waters to take this shitty wasteland, but I'm not sure that I want to. Meanwhile, he's bloodhunting the hell out of Nardego here, which is good strategy. He's summoning a bunch of imps, which is interesting strategy. Not probably what I would do myself. I'm a little bit worried that he might want to come and take Yellow Mountains. Yellow Mountains is a little extended from my territory. It's kind of hard to defend. But, I mean, if I had a ton of mages here, I could defend it, but I don't have a ton of mages here. I only have a few. And I'm recruiting Mages of Autumn pretty slowly. So, I'm probably just gonna... Like, I've got some troops here. But I think I'm gonna just, like, do that some more. Just keep pumping out some indie heavy infantry. Just have something. Something to help hold the walls up. Get some fort defense to buy me time if someone does come in to attack me. Now, obviously, if a big pile of Seir come in and try to crash my party, like, there's nothing I can really do about it. Big whoop. I'll have to redirect my actual armies to fight that war. But I'd like to not really have to. It is interesting to me that we still have these two neutral provinces. Like, he just hasn't bothered to take them. Or she, I'm sorry, she hasn't bothered to take them. Which is weird. Huh. I'm not sure what Althea's strategy is there. I'm curious. Very curious. Well, we'll find out at some point. I'm distributing Sanguine Dowsing Rods to my Bloodhunters, in order to get that Sanguine Dowsing going. I'm also going to send Fegamer over there, and he can likewise have some Sanguine Dowsing Rods, because he is not needed right at the moment. And, of course, these are all undead and some Atavi archers that are moving over here to attack Quedra. So, that should be the turn. We'll see in turn 35 whether I am successful in taking this, and whether Utgard moves in to try and rain on my parade, and what happens if they do. I outnumber this army significantly. Like, that's 100 giants. I have 100 units just under the non-stop pop. I've got another 100 here, 60, 80. Yeah, I've got well over 300 units going in, but most of them are garbage. The actual heart of the army is these 100 units here, which are Azrapas, Palankashas, and Ganas. And a lot of them are starving, so a lot of them are suffering pretty significant debuffs. Now, it is worth noting that in Quedra, I do have Turmoil 1, unlike over here where I have Order 3. So my stats on those Sacreds will be 4 points higher overall. I'll be base attack 13, defense 14, combat speed 15, and what else is there? I think that's all the Chaos Power effects. But yeah, I'll have all that. Plus, also worth noting, Unrest counts as Turmoil for the purpose of Chaos Power. So you can actually, if you're in enemy territory and you anticipate yourself being attacked, you can actually buff your Sacreds by using the Pillage Order, which causes Unrest. So if you have a big army in enemy territory, as Lanka, and they have order scales especially, sometimes I think it can be worthwhile to just sit in a province and pillage the hell out of it if you anticipate them attacking you, because it'll effectively buff your Sacreds while also destroying their territory. Now, obviously, you hope to take their territory intact, but hey, destroying an enemy province and then running away is not the worst outcome possible. So, let's see how it goes in turn 35. I'll see you then.